Well, good morning. Time to get up. It's kind of an interesting phenomenon in this dark ice fishing tent. You wake up in the morning, you can't really tell if it's light outside by looking out the windows. Windows are shut. The vent shows that it must be light outside, and you can see a little bit of light around the door zipper. But the real telltale sign that it's morning time is the floor. It's the floor that lights up. It's quite interesting because you have clear ice underneath. It's like a night light. So, time to get up, look out and see if it snowed last night. Oh yeah. Yep, it snowed. Not much. Like an inch, maybe. Just enough to dust the sled. So, I'll get breakfast this morning, take down the tent, pack up, and head north. The lake definitely has a different look this morning. Got nice covering of new snow. It's going to make it a little bit more interesting walking on the ice today, since I can't see the ice itself. So a little bit slower today, a little bit more cautious, using my ski poles more to sound ahead of me to make sure there's no soft ice or thin ice. Should go good though. So here's an example of a pressure ridge where when the ice starts expanding, something has to give. As a crack develops and then one half rides up over the top of the other. Again, as the ice expands, it has to go somewhere. So this is a small pressure ridge. I've seen them taller than I am on this lake. Usually, at least if it's a good cold day, they have refrozen just fine. In fact, the ice will be twice as thick on these as normal. But you gotta be careful crossing over them. I avoid them whenever possible. Well, I've come upon another one of these pressure ridges. A little bit worrisome because on the opposite side of the ridge from me, this brand new snow looks wet. Like maybe there's water over there. So I have to probe this out pretty good and look for a spot where there's less narrower gap of fresh water. So I think I can cross right there. So this extends out. They go for sometimes miles, and to find a spot to get around them can be tough. The snow conditions today remind me of those on the day many years ago when I fell through the ice. We were out ice fishing, my dad and I and a son, and it had about an inch to a half an inch of new snow on the ice. The problem was not a pressure ridge, but a gap that had formed, what we call a lead, had developed, and the ice had separated and left about a 15-20 foot wide strip. And then it refroze, but it only refroze to about a half an inch thick. The rest of the ice was 6 to 7 inches thick. So I was walking along, it looked just like this, no difference in the surface texture, just walking along, and I stepped then off of the 6-inch ice onto half-inch thick ice in that lead, and down I went over my head, and had it not been for the fact that I had other people there with me, I'm not sure I would have got out on my own. What happens when you fall through, the water splashes up on this new ice and it's so slippery, it's just like it's greased. You can't get any traction. And anyway, I did manage to get out with help of others, and now I'm a lot more cautious about what I do on situations like this. I have ice picks in my pocket, which would have saved me that day had I been alone. I also have a life jacket and change of dry clothes, and so yeah, I think I could get myself out okay, but still kind of scary. Alright, I'm continuing on out and beyond that far point. See how it goes. Well, it's early afternoon and I've got camp set up, so I'll just be fishing all the rest of the afternoon and early evening. Ice is still popping, not as much as it was early this morning and during the night. It's quit snowing, sun's coming out. It's looking like a nice day. A little breezy, but the ice tent makes it really pleasant inside. Alright, here's looking north. You can barely make out the mountains on the north end of the lake. I guess I'm still probably, at least 12 miles from the north shore. Pretty lake. Nothing left to do today except catch fish. See how we do. I fished most of the afternoon today. I only caught 2 lake trout, nothing big, but since I've already got fish for tonight, I released them. This isn't the best lake for catching quantity, but it does have some big fish in, so the quality makes up for the lack of quantity sometimes. This afternoon, fortunately, it's dying down quite a bit. Ice is starting to pop more. Beautiful sunset, end of the second day, third day. So this is my third night. It's a big lake. Alright, time to start dinner. Tonight it's fried trout fillets again, and it's ramen noodles, and probably some tortillas. Just see how that goes. So first of all, got some of the fillets from last night. Dump those into a bag of flour with salt and pepper. Alright. There's what we're starting with. We'll get the fry pan heated up and get to frying. I'm just a little concerned tonight that I'm running low on gas, and it'd be just my luck to get halfway through frying these fish and run out of gas. Well, cross your fingers and hope it works. I found on these really cold campouts, even though I keep the fuel container in my inside pocket to keep it warm, it still isn't quite enough sometimes. But if I put my hands around the container, it makes a big difference. Within just a matter of seconds, you can hear the flame increase in intensity just by that little bit of extra body warmth. Well, just as I feared, I just barely turned the fish over the first time, out of gas. So, I've got one other bottle that's questionable. It might have enough to finish the meal. If not, I guess we have sort of semi-sushi. Well, I switched out the canister. So far so good. I may have lucked out on this one. Maybe I'll even have enough to finish off the ramen noodles. Well, it looks like I got lucky on this one. I added the ramen. Just going to let it sit now for a while. See if it'll cook on its own. And now we wait. While I'm waiting, as long as I got a little bit more fuel left in here, I'm going to try. Yeah. Just warm up a couple of tortillas to go along with it. Alright, so we'll have some trout, ramen noodles, and some tortillas on the side. Not very conventional, but delicious. Okay, I think we're ready. This isn't too hot. I think I'll just use it as a lap warmer. Oh boy. Hope you can see that. There's the fish. There's the ramen. Time to eat. With all this steam, the camera may not work so well. Just know it's good. That's good.